And live.
Hello, I am Gabby's Kiss with Golden Legends Champion Challenge, and today is our makeup and from our heads to our toes on makeup and hair and shoe wear. So today we're going to get started on how I got my notes here to keep me on track. And I have things on my table also to keep me on track as we go through the thing and I can show you. Today I have a very base face. I just put on a few things and I will go over that in a minute. Um,
Change your lighting.
Change my lighting.
Nope.
Maybe this light.
You keep going. There you go.
That's perfect. Okay. Our hair from our makeup to our shoes help tell our character on our. I'm looking at the closed caption to make sure this is all getting there. Yes. Okay. To make sure it tells our story. Some people have the same hair and makeup for their character no matter what their act is. Some change their hair or their makeup along with their costume, like and their shoe wear for their act to tell that story. So if it's rockabilly or pinups, they may have that look for that. And then for horror, they may go with a different look. Or there are those that they have a signature look with their hair and their makeup, and it never changes. You will never see their hair out of place in a different type of style or their makeup. That is what their character is from day to day on stage. All right, here we go. All right, first we're going to start with your venue, your show that's coming up. It's know your show, know how many acts in your venue. So is your venue a one with a green room or is it a bar with a broom closet? Are you reporting early and are you able to where you are able to do your hair and makeup there? Or do you need to be hair and makeup ready? These are all questions to help you prepare for a successful show and be on time and not stressed out. Um, so let's start with your hair. It tells part of your story. It's who you are. Some people go with wigs, some people go with their original hair, maybe color it for the act or use a ponytail. I use sometimes a clip-in or a string draw ponytail. My hair is growing out. However, the ponytail gives it a bounce. If I want more of a bougie glamour look or of a sultry look, dominatrix, I can change it by just putting that hair ponytail in. All right. I'm going to go with wigs and hair as I'm asking you questions. So when you reached out to your producer and they sent you a thing back and they said report time is this time, there's a green room, there's not a green room. That's what you need to know so that you can later backwards plan, and we'll go over that in a minute. Okay, so if your venue has a green room, and you are able to change costumes if you have one act or two acts. This is really important for how you pack and what you wear there and on your first base coat of your makeup. How you're going to do your makeup is how your acts are lined up. So make sure you find out from your producer if you are performing two acts and in what order they are in. If you have a preference, um, like I have a Harley Quinn act, one performer, she paints herself in pink. So those are acts that we would like second so that we're not removing all of that makeup and redoing our makeup for the next act because usually it's only 10 to 15 minutes for you to get ready for your second act. Okay, so I picked this up at the store. These are usually $2 to $5. These are great for if you're going to be styling the wig. or for travel. You can put the hairpiece on here and pin it with straight pins onto here so that it doesn't fall off and so that you're able to style it. Now, I picked this up at the wig store, this mannequin, for $10 on clearance. They had a table, they were getting rid of these heads. So I was able to get this, and this is great for its sturdy weight for on the table for when you want to put your wig on there just to hold it for your next act. If you are able to have that room. So always double check that you have that room. If not, this is great for those who have a vanity at home to put on there and get everything ready for your act, down from your hair down to your toes. Okay. Stay. All right. For hair, so you can put it on the mannequin or you can put it on this one for travel. Sometimes I use a shower cap. Of course, you can tell by the kisses, this is mine. And this keeps my hair nice and curly and together. So when I pack it in the bag with my other hair pieces, it doesn't get tangled up. Sometimes I even put the hair bow inside so that each of my hair bows, my hair flowers or any pieces are with my hair and with my costume. Oh, so these were done by Protege from 23 from Lila Venita. And this one was purchased for me this year at BHOC by Protege. I will keep that secluded and I want to say thank you so much. All right. So again, you want to keep your hair pieces with your hair and try to keep everything together. And that's like a little carrying case. So your wigs can help tell your story. If you are Lucille Ball, you don't want to have black hair or blonde hair, and you may not be able to have that naturally. You want to be able to wear a wig. My Madonna or my Marilyn Monroe hairpiece is in here, or Sandra Dee or whatever you want to use it for. I keep them separate for travel. And we'll talk about that later, how to pack for the venue to make your transition if you have two apps. My phone keeps going, my notes. It timed out. Sorry. Okay. So as I'm pulling that up, let's start with things that I like to have. I live in an RV, so I do not have a vanity at home or a big bathroom. I have to carry my things in different bags. So this is like my performing bag with my makeup just for that act. I'm gonna have another bag. That is every day. Okay. And for those who do wear less and whore less, I keep a different case with my prosthetics and stage makeup. That helps me when I'm getting everything ready for the show. When it's separated, I'm able to pack easier for the show, and I take only what I need for that act or two acts. Okay, let's talk about how to prepare for the transition. One, I always have some kind of fan because I have hot flashes. Also, you never know what type of venue, if it's going to have an AC or not. You want to make sure that you're not reapplying your makeup with tons of sweat from coming off from your first act. Also, with that, when you pack your makeup, where are you traveling to and where are you performing? Are you in a hot place, a humid place? Are you going to be performing outside? Those are all questions that you need to ask. so that you wear the right type of makeup. So I have little cases that have my pasties in it. These are really great. They have magnets on the back. You can also put Velcro, of course, always the soft on this side, Velcro and put them on the walls. You can put pasties, you can put your jewelry for the next act. So I have my pasties divided up and they're packed with the act that they go with. So if I'm changing out pasties, I always have them there with the costume. And they're in a case, so you don't have pasties getting stuck to your costume and then looking for them or messaging other performers to see if one of your pasties may have landed in between their costumes. So that's true story, and it's not just one or two people. That's a real thing. It happens a lot.
Or stuck to another performer's butt.
Yes. So, if you have masks, make sure that you get something to put them in that is protected for after you come off stage and you're able to take that off. I wear this so that it's minimal makeup coming off, and it's not smudging on a mask. Okay. Also for your hair, if you don't have the bows, the ribbons, the flowers, a headband with jewels on it can brighten it up. And whatever look you're going through for, you can change up your headband. If you're a unicorn, if you're a kitty, headbands really do make up your character. Just make sure that they stay on if you're going to have it stay on so that it doesn't distract you falling off in the middle of your act.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah, what's the deal with tiny hats? Why are they so
So tiny hats. Okay, let me just start off from the beginning. I should have said this at the very beginning of this class. Your character is yours. No matter what anybody says, it is yours. If it is your everyday character or if it is a character for a specific act. There's no right or wrong. What makes you happy? What makes you feel good? What do you think looks good on you and in pictures? So if that is hair pieces, if it's no bows, no flowers, that is up to you. If you want to keep the same look, you can keep the same look. If you want to wear a tiny hat, and I've said it, you can wear a tiny hat. If you want to wear a big hat with fringe on it and jewels or a small hat, what tells your character? What tells your story? Are you making fun of people with tiny hats or cowboys with a certain hat? It's about telling your story. So there's no right or wrong. Just remember, you want it to tell your character in your story for your act. Does that help?
that's helpful? Thank you.
Okay. So how to prepare for your transition. So again, having things separated. If you have to apply makeup for your second look in your hair, you need to have that in its own little bag. So it's just easy to go to. Or if you already got ready for one and you're able to keep things out, have your second act ready to go in your station so that when you come in, you can just boom, 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 and you're changed and you're done and you're out of the way. So makeup, having your makeup for your different looks, and also emergency makeup remover, and stuff like that. Q-tips, makeup remover, things, floss, and baby wipes. Baby wipes will probably get used by your friends and everybody, but for something. It's also great for keeping your feet clean, and we'll talk about that later when we go over shoes and feet wear. So, and then having a mirror, your own mirror in case you don't have a green room. So what did I not do? I didn't put batteries in. So always preparing yourself if you're going to have that and have your own mirror that you take batteries if you're going to have a lighted mirror.
And keep your battery back.
And keep your battery back or tape it in or something. Now, I will show you later my glitter makeup for later on, but I do want to get out the mirror. Having a little side mirror helps. I got this one from Tiffany Carter.
She's on, by the way.
Oh, she is on. So I use this to check my lipstick because I am famous for getting lipstick on my teeth, or I do smoke a little, so I may get some resin on my front teeth. I always make sure that I'm clear so I don't have to ask someone because they're not always observant if you have stuff on your teeth. Okay. So we're going to talk about having a clean face first and preparing yourself for the transition. You always start off with a base look. So I use an exfoliant, a gentle one on my skin. You can prepare the day before or the day of. I always suggest, like, especially with hair, if you're going to get it colored or cut, you always do it the day before or earlier because you don't want to have a flub and be in the salon longer than you're supposed to be, or be stressed out or your neck hurting from being in the salon if you go to a salon. So I use exfoliant and then I use a lip scrub. A lip exfoliant is really good, especially in the desert for the dryness. We get cracked lips, always moisturize, and it's great for right before you're putting on that lipstick, especially if you're going to use the glitter. And we'll talk about that later.
This comes right from the pros.
I use a gel moisturizer on my body and my face. I've used expensive ones, cheap ones. I use a gel because it hydrates me without leaving a greasy feeling. Everybody's skin is different. And remember, on the products, you need to find the products that are right for you, your skin sensitivity, and your skin shade or color, or if you have a background of yellow or red, pinkness, those are all things that can be addressed with certain individuals on your makeup. And I always carry the deodorant in my bag that doesn't leave a residue on black. In the morning, if you are able to shower and get partially ready, especially if you are traveling, performing, sometimes we would have to shower that morning, do our hair, and travel 4 to 5 hours, then load in and do a show that night in a different state. We plan sometimes, and of course this comes with the backwards planning, where the venue is, how long it takes to get there, and then you always increase your time. So always look to see where your venue is, know your timing for different times of the day for traffic, and always give yourself a buffer. And know if you need to be hair and makeup ready or if you can get there and do it. I try to be as ready as prepared as I can be before I get there. However, what we learned at BHoF, you can do your makeup and everything like that, but sometimes the sun just hates you and it's going to cook and melt you. So I was not as pristine as I wanted to be for pictures at BHoF. So always look into if there's an area where you can cool down and apply your makeup, a fresh makeup for the rest of it so that you're not just melted. Okay, so we're going to talk about having different kinds of makeup. I just got this recently. This is a new color palette. Let me take it out. So I'm doing an act with a lot of neon colors and rainbow, of course. So I wanted to get something to go with that act, but it is always great to have an assortment of different colors. And again, only pack what you need to for your venue for the changeover of your acts. So, and then of course the brushes came with that, and I always try to have different brushes. So this would go with the colors, and I would pack that accordingly. So like I said, we have a clean face, we moisturize, you let it set for 3 to 5 minutes, let that absorb in before you do the next things. There are different products for primer. And right now I have a Studio Perfect. It's a green. It's to help be the undercoat to help take this redness away from my face, from the pigment. I want to, is it Il Makiage? I want to try their primer that fills in like the cracks and looks like a time age of 5 years at least taken off. I have, and I just ran out of the primer that is cooling. It goes underneath your eyes, and it is great for dark circles or the puffiness from being tired and stuff like that. And I just ran out. It's kind of like a preparation H and a primer like filler all in one. And that's from NYX. So again, this is NYX. You don't have to use a certain product. Some people use a product from their hometown. One that is Mary Kay, one that's sensitive for their skin. Again, you need to try things out and not the day of your show. So if you're getting makeup for your show, like this is going to be for one of my new acts, I'm going to at least practice my look 2 to 3 times and take pictures of what I like so that I'm able to recreate that look on that act, no matter what. Okay. The other primer I use is I use a shaded primer for around my eyes for makeup to adhere to. I use a lighter shade around my eyes than the foundation I use on my face. So on stage, depending on the lighting, sometimes we look pink, right? Sometimes we look blue. Sometimes we are so whitewashed. My hands kind of look like purple in the light. We are so whitewashed. We look like ghosts up there. So it's really important what type of makeup you use so that you are able to highlight your face so you aren't washed out on stage. So that goes with the foundation that you use. And a lot of people for stage use one shade darker than their everyday shade. Now, the foundation that you use, you have your everyday foundation that you can use for out and about that probably has an SPF in it. It's great. It's a natural tone for your everyday that you're not taking pictures with lights and you're not on stage and the lights aren't on you. So make sure that you have different foundations for your everyday look and then your stage look. Your stage look, you want more of a fuller coverage. Sometimes you want a medium to full. Some people can't have the full because it's too heavy and it creates zits or sweats. There's waterproof. There's different kinds. There's liquid. There's types that there's the powder and then you get it a little wet with the brush and then you're able to put it on. There's the stick. When I first got out of the hospital, I did not look great. And we went to the mall to do a new look for me. So Bones was pushing me around in the wheelchair, and a couple of queens were at a kiosk, and they called me over and they did my makeup and were able to show me the makeup sticks. The sticks are great for covering up the 5 o'clock shadow, your under, your dark eyes, any puffiness, stuff like that. So really look into what kind of look you need. A lot of the drag kings and queens use a thicker stage makeup, and it is darker. It is to highlight different things. So there are links on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram for finding your right look. So if you look up, if you're going for a pinup look, you would look up pinups. There's also Pinterest. If you're going for horror or elf or Chucky or anything like that, there are pictures on the internet now. We are able to just look, and there's tutorials everywhere. So don't ever feel like you can't do something. It is out there for you to kind of guide you through it. Okay, so back on track. Along with doing your base makeup, you always have makeup remover just in case you mess up. The micellar water is great for Q-tips, for just a little dab to get off makeup. And it's good for eyelashes that are more permanent or semi-permanent. And we'll talk about eyelashes in a minute. So after you get your base look, you're going to do your eyebrows. And remember, your eyebrows can be your character. If you want a thinner eyebrow, if you want a thicker eyebrow, that is on your character. So practice, practice, practice. You don't want to be doing a new character and then look like a clown with one up and one down, unless that's what you're going for. So I have a couple of neat things I've purchased to help me. One is an eyeliner. I put this on after I've already put my eyeliner on. This is a 2-in-1 eyeliner. It also has some glue in it. So after I put my first eyeliner on it, I put this on near the eyelashes of where I want the lashes to go. Then I take the lashes and put the glue on, and it adheres faster and quicker, and it puts more of the area that I want it to be. And I will say, I don't rarely do my eyelashes. Bones does my eyelashes. And I just tell him if I want a sultry look or the surprise look, because that can tell your character also. And then it's easier for him to place it. I have put my eyelashes on a couple times. I shake. So if I don't have Bones available, I do reach out to someone and say, hey, are you going to be at the event? Are you going to be back there with me? Do you mind putting my lashes on? Okay. So I have the eyeliner glue to help. And then stance. Okay, so there are different kinds of stance to tell your character. If you are a mermaid or you're going for more of a nautical or space, there are planets, there are stars, seashells, hearts that you're able to stamp on your face. There is also the cat eyes. They come in different size, and they also say right and left. So I'm able to stamp that on my eye, and I'm able to turn it if I want more of a surprise look or more of a sultry look. I think that was a little too close, but it says right or left, and then you just pick your left or your right, and you're able to do it, and then connect your eyeliner to it. So these are some cheats that you can have. There are eyebrow brushes now that have the bristles that come in 3, and it looks like a brush stroke, so it looks more natural. Or you can do a powder to darken your eyebrows in. If you have light eyebrows, I would darken them in a little bit, because when you're on the stage and the lights are so blinding and they show everything, you want to be able to have a face and show your expression with your eyebrows and your eyes. So like I said, the decision is always yours for makeup. If you want to wear eyelashes, wear eyelashes. You want to wear mascara, wear mascara. Sometimes I wear mascara for bar shows, and I wear eyelashes for stage shows and competitions. Just like with your nails. Sometimes I just paint it for the bar. If it's a stage ticketed event or a competition, I might put on nails or the glue on nails or get my nails done, depending on how I feel about that. Okay, so we're going to go over a few things that can help accentuate between a bar and a stage show and competition. Some performers like wearing them all the time. So it's always up to you. So I do have glitter spray. Remember with glitter spray, you don't want to spray it on one area and it be so concentrated. Sometimes you can put it in your lotion and then put that on. Just remember to let it dry and always test it so that's not rubbing off on your costume. And then make sure that you don't put it around your areolas so that you're able to put your pasties on, or you're able to put some alcohol and clean that area before you put your pasties on. That makes a difference with keeping your pasties on. So if you're using lotion or glitter, make sure that you clean your area or have your pasties on already. So that is the glue, the spray that is just a glitter spray. Now at VHOF, I was able to go to the glitter store and get a few colors. And I'll show you the difference. So right here, this is a primer. Not a primer, but it's like kind of a transformer gel. So you can put glitter powder on your eyes or your skin or your lips in with your lipstick that you have wet that you're just putting in. Or you can use this afterwards, after you put your lipstick on for the base coat. You let it dry, and then you use the transformer gel with these gels, with the glitter, to apply to your lips. Now, there are different types of glitter, so always make sure when you order that you find out which one it is. There is the body glitter, which is bigger, and this clumps on really strongly. So I suggest putting this in a lotion and applying it directly where you want. With these, with the glitter, I would always put it under a catch because sometimes they get a little messy and you don't want glitter all over your place or your costume. I am wearing a cami that I'm able to just take right off. It doesn't matter if I get makeup on it. I might even use it for my makeup brushes to get off some makeup, like a towel, and not have to worry about it because it can go right in the wash, and I don't have to worry about it getting on my clothes or my costume, and I'm able to take it right off and put my costume on. I'm also able to have sometimes my under reveals, my pasties, my pantyhose, and everything else, and just have this over it also. Okay, so the glitter, there is the fine glitter, and these turn, so you want to make sure you turn it just a little bit and just get a little out. You don't want to turn it all the way. And then always, always, always make sure you turn it back before you put the lid back on. Because no matter, even if you have the thing where it's going to sit flat, it's going to get turned, and when you open it, the glitter will come out. So there's fine glitter, and then there's the thicker glitter. And so you can get two different shades where it can accentuate. I got red for lips. I really liked this product versus, and I'll tell you versus the other product. I used the gel transformer and put it on a little business card with a little paintbrush, and I was able to paint it right on. I didn't do it till right before I went on stage. So I was able to drink and eat and stuff like that, and then the coat was fresh and it dried, and I was able to go right on stage. It did not come off on my gloves either. I did not have white gloves, but it dried and it was not visible on my gloves. So business cards are great if you don't have medical tape. So a lot of the Instagrammers now use medical tape and they put it on their skin of where they want their lines to be. So that means if you shake, it doesn't matter because it's only going to go exactly where you want, and the glitter will not fall on your face and get into your makeup. You're able to take off the tape and that is gone. Or use a business card and put the glitter on, and then after take it off, and then you don't have glitter underneath. So Georgette Dante told me, she's like, don't use the tape. She's like, just use the card. So that is up to you if you want to use the tape or a business card, something to prevent the glitter, or when you're doing your lines, easier to do your lines. Okay, so the glitter makeup I got was from Electra cosmetics.com. It works really well. I got this all done, all of this for $40. So it's really good. I have gotten glitter makeup from the wig store. It lasted. I did not have the gel transformer, and I think that would have made the difference of it staying on better. However, so gel makeup and glitter makeup does make a difference. This is gel makeup that you get from Spirit or the Halloween store. I've used this. It is okay if you don't need to be precise. And it's not the greatest for coming off. I will tell you that the higher quality was easier to take off than this and apply. And with that, again, I use a lotion or gel to take off makeup. You can use coconut oil, stuff like that, because you want to get in there to get off all the makeup. I wipe it all off and then I wash my face. Coconut oil and stuff like that is great for taking off the permanent lipstick. With the glitter, definitely rub it in and then wipe it off, and then do it again and wipe it off, and then have an exfoliant with that's a scrub that has more of a conditioner oil in it. When you're taking that off, that helps take the lipstick, exfoliate, and not tear up your lips. Okay, so that is the glitter. So for packing your things to backward plan, always separate your jewelry that you're going to wear and your makeup, and having it ready to go on your axe. So I have 2 acts of jewelry in here that's ready to go and travel. So I don't have to worry about having a whole jewelry case or losing jewelry. And after I take off my jewelry from my first act, I put it in here and zip it up and put it away because I got my second on. When I'm going to go home, I will get it out again. That way your jewelry is not out and you're not putting one earring over here and an earring over there and then losing it. So you make sure that you always have your jewelry together. And then no one gets accused either of taking your jewelry or knocking it off on the floor. Okay, so we talked about a lot about face. Blending. We didn't talk about blending and contouring. Blending, I want you to think of the 80s. We are not orange face and we're not lined. So we want to make sure that we blend it into our hairline, maybe even our foundation, our ears. If our ears are really a different color than our face, and then our neck. We don't want to forget that area.
Even down the V-line
Yes.
into the.
So I have a red chest here. It's always red. So sometimes I cover that up as long as my costume is not going to rub on it and I'm not going to get makeup on my costume. Because my costumes always come top priority to me. Okay, so for nails, you can have your nails, the press-ons, you can paint your nails, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you've always done it before the show, that you know how to do it, you know what's going to stick, you know what's going to come off. If you're got snap tape dress, that you're not doing it and the nails are flying off. So make sure that you always practice with whatever you're going to wear for your performance beforehand so that you're able to get used to that. Other little things that I pack are the nail kits with little scissors. Someone always needs scissors at the show. So that should handle all of that. Okay. As I go on my notes, I'm going to talk a little bit about shoe wear. Yeah. Okay. All right. Shoe. What size of heel? Let's say you're going to wear heels. What size of heels should you wear? It also comes down to your venue. What type of floor do they have? Do they have steps, carpet? Is it a slippery floor? Do they have a wood floor where your heels, even if they are 1 inch heels, if you do a death drop, splits on the stage, is the heels going to dig into their wood floor and make a crevice? So always make sure you find out if there's any things about the stage for your shoe wear. Your shoes should complement your character and for your act. So if you are wearing a full suit or a prom dress, you probably don't want to go barefoot. If you are doing belly dancing, you're not going to wear stilettos. So really knowing your shoes, your footwear for your act. If you have an ability issue, I do. I don't know how I'm going to feel on the day of my act sometimes. I have 2 to 3 different options of shoes. Sometimes I wear tennis shoes. Of course, they are rhinestoned or they match the outfit. Sometimes it is a shoe with a small heel. And those are shoes that I have practiced in that aren't going to come off my foot in the middle of performing. Or if I'm going to take them off, that I've practiced in them to be able to take them off. And that shoe wear fits the character or costume. Now, I wear tennis shoes sometimes with dresses. For my ability, I'm not going to wear barefoot. I'll be barefooted. So find your shoe wear that is comfortable for your ability level, how you walk and strut and feel good, how you can perform. If you are not able to do all the moves and dancing and stilettos and your ankles are buckling over in those shoes 3 to 4 times in your performance, those are probably not the shoes for you to wear. Okay. Or you need more practice in them. Some producers or legends even don't like certain shoes. They don't like stilettos for certain acts or venues. So always make sure you check with your producer if there's a thing on shoes, also a thing with bras.
Know your flooring.
Your flooring. Know your blue laws, but definitely know your flooring. I'm not gonna go barefoot on a bar floor. However, I might go barefoot on a stage floor. So I might wear yoga socks that blend with my outfit or complement my outfit, put rhinestones on them, flowers, do a thing up your leg to complement it so that if you're not wearing shoes, at least you don't just have bare feet. If you're going to have a bare foot, sometimes you can put jewelry on. This fits around the toe and comes around the ankle. You don't have to wear them on both feet. Just having one sometimes is enough to kind of say pow, especially if that is the foot that you're putting out to tease with. So wear jewelry. You can wear jewelry on your feet. So shoes, your hair down to your feet tells your character. So when you map board your story in your character and you're picking out your costume, that includes your hair and your makeup and your feet, your shoes, your complete look to sell your character. So as you're going through the GLCC, that you are sending pictures of both of that to your mentor and to your legend for them to see what you're doing. If you are wearing certain shoe wear and you're going to be removing it on stage, that you have practiced over and over with it, and that your mentor has seen you in your act of how you're removing your shoes, if you're removing your pantyhose, your stocking. Those are all technical things that you should have in your video when you send your recording to your mentor. How you're going to take off your costume, how it's going to drop, what your makeup is going to look like. You do not have to wear glitter on your lipstick. You do not have to wear glitter around your eyes. Don't have to wear an eyeliner. Wear what looks and complements you and your character. Also, your budget. You don't have to buy expensive products to look good. I bought some of those products at the Dollar General, but at Walmart it's usually $3 to $5 more. So I went to Dollar General and got some of the products. Some of the products have clearances. Sometimes you're able to get discounts. You can always look at your pocketbook, make a good judgment of, is that really makeup I need, or can I make do with that? Does it work for my skin sensitivity, and my look? And I should have started us with this. So when we're building our character for our act, whatever childhood trauma you grew up with, your mom, your aunt, your church telling you not to wear red lipstick, to not wear certain makeup, to only wear natural tones. You wear what you want to wear. You are not that person anymore. This is your character. If you don't wear makeup in your everyday life, that's okay. Because when you get on stage, you get to be whatever you want to be. You get to tell your story and be your character. So find your look. People take pictures. If they finally got a look that really looked for an act that they want, they take that picture so that when they do that act 6 months from now, because that's not an act they normally do, they have that look already pulled up. They have it and they're able to copy that look. So I encourage also that with GLCC, when you are sending looks to your mentor of your makeup and your shoe wear, not just your costume, that you also have that for the day of, for getting ready. If you haven't done it at least 2 to 3 times, and that's what we would like for you to do also. Get good at practicing putting the makeup on, taking it off. If you have a mistake, how to correct that mistake, so that when you get to the day of show, you are not stressed out. You got this. You know how to take it off and correct it. You know how to apply your makeup, and you're not having to ask anybody else, except for, maybe the eyelash. So I wanted to tell you about that. And also, when you're taking off your makeup at home or after the show, you have everything with you. I also have this, and you can have any product. This happened to come from a mentor in 22, that makes booby butter. So it's a little dish. You can have coconut oil or whatever, but this has shea butter and some things in it. And did not get it open. Okay. So after I take my pasties off, I put this on and I rub it on, and that gets the glue and it moisturizes my areola and my nipple. Depending on if you use tape or glue, so you're not getting irritated, and then you're able to wipe that off too. So have everything that you need if you're on the road, so that you can take off your makeup at night. at the hotel, I do want to suggest that you carry a micro fiber hand towel or a black hand towel or something of your own with you if you are coming to the hotels, especially in California. We experience this. If you get any foundation, any makeup on a towel that you've washed your face with, they can charge you $20 sometimes for that hand towel. So I would suggest bringing your own, and then you also have it for you if you're at the venue and you need to do a transition from makeup to makeup, you're able to take that makeup off. You're not looking for paper towels or anything like that. Let's see what else. Okay, I think I got all that done. If you want any tips on makeup from horror, go ask Molly McCobb. If you want certain makeups for a certain look that you've seen on a mentor or a protege, ask them what products they use. What prosthetics or glue that they use for their hands and putting their horns on. It's okay to network and share your advice and share with people what products you use, and especially if they're asking you. So definitely reach out to someone if you see something that you like on them. If they got a new lipstick, ask them about it. Again, always know your environment. If you need a fan with you, the electric fan. Also, after your complete makeup is done, there are two products, one for daytime and one for show, stage, and nighttime. And that is setting spray. So after you've gotten your makeup all done and right where you want it, you use a setting spray. Now the daytime has an SPF in it, so it's going to help your makeup stay put and not melt as easily off your face, and it's going to give you that extra layer of sun protection. For stage, they have certain ones that's not going to give you that gloss and make you shiny on stage. And it helps your makeup stay put for your look. So from 1 hour to 5 hours, your look is still the same. So definitely get a setting spray if you are interested in that. And I think that's about it. Go over the notes and we'll turn it to questions. Babe?
Okay, questions are over.
Or turn it up to questions?
Yeah.
And I can't read, so you're gonna have to
We got it.
read the screen for me.
Tiffany had the duck out as guest coming. So
Oh, okay.
he was on for part of it.
Bye, Tiffany. Thank you.
Of course, Nikki was on.
Okay. Any questions?
No, no questions.
Oh, I did have something in my notes. See, I wanted to go over it one more time. So when I talked about your shoes, know your ability and the venue, if you have steps, how you're going to get down those stairs with heels on, stuff like that. If you're going barefooted, baby wipes. Clean your feet, especially if you're going to be showing the bottom of your feet in a pose. You want to keep the bottom of your feet clean and dry before you do that. Also, before you put your feet into shoes, let's say you were barefoot on your first act, but your second act has shoes. You want to make sure you clean the bottom of your feet before you put them into your shoes so that the inside of your shoes don't get
Did you
yucky.
show them your foot bikini? Your foot bikini.
Oh, yes, I did. Okay, couple other things. Yes, that's the foot jewelry. So I did not show the glitter that has a little brush on it. It's in this. I got gold for GLCC. And then I have a white shimmer. Sometimes I put on underneath my eyeliner, especially if I make a little mistake. Or I need to brighten up my look. I put a little bit of this. So, again, use cards, use tape, have all your makeup remover available for you in case you have a mistake. And sometimes, I'm going to give it it's easier to get ready in your car sometimes than in a broom closet if you haven't done your makeup. You're able to sit in your car with the AC running and put on your makeup in your own little area. So that's about it.
People
Oh.
like the idea of the mini fans in the mirrors.
I did have a thing. So on traveling, performing, we looked to see where our venue was. If our venue did not have a shower and a bedroom above the venue for us to get ready, or Airbnb, we did have a Planet Fitness membership. We would go to Planet Fitness within 15 to 30 minutes, stop in there, get a little massage on the hydro bed, and then go to the bathroom with our makeup bag and get our hair and makeup ready and our costume, and then be able to go to the venue so that we weren't traveling with all of that on for 3 to 4 hours. And that's about it. Okay, now I'm ready. Is there any more questions?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. I hope this was helpful. Have a friend if you're trying to pick.
Yeah, how did you learn all this stuff? You didn't tell
Oh,
us.
I did. Like, I'm going to tell this on one thing. Have a friend with you about the shade. Ask someone that you trust to tell you the shade of your foundation if it's not the right one. Go out into the sun. Is that your everyday one? Go out in the sun. You can see if it has the line or if it's the right shade for you. Ask someone that you trust. My son used to pick out my foundation for me. I don't have that anymore, so I'm kind of like, not everybody has an eye for foundation, so make sure that you find the right foundation for you for every day and for stage. And how did I find out all this stuff? I did take a hair and makeup class in Humboldt last year that helped me with finding the right cleaning products for my wigs, the right sprays, and I was doing everything wrong that I had learned from someone else growing up. So I was able to condition and redo my wigs.
Oh, what about all that road experience?
And of course, road experience.
There's road
We lots of touring with getting ready on the road. And then also we went on tour in 23 to a lot of different states from California to the East Coast and back. And sometimes we had 2 or 3 days before a show. Sometimes we had to travel 5 hours in between shows and then get ready. So this is just to help you prepare for traveling if you are not in your hometown, but also if you are in your hometown, if you are doing more than one act, you are able to do the transition and tell your story on your character. And if you need any help with telling the story of your character from head to toes, ask your mentor, ask your legend, ask a legend. If a legend is more classical or a legend's more into horror, ask that legend, ask that person, get the advice from people of their makeup products. Look up Google links. I just want to say, educate yourself, educate yourself. Don't be in the dark. I'm out. I want to get out. So everybody have a great night. I hope this helped, at least with one thing. Gabby's Kiss, over and out.
I'm gonna make the mouse work now. Everybody said thank you.